Kicking it into record mode and play. All right, guys, so I want to welcome everybody to this evening's opportunity webinar. And my name is Gary Stern. I'm based here out of Melbourne, Florida. I've been living in this area for about, been back in this area for 18 years. I grew up here, went off to college, ended up back here after getting married now for a couple years. And so I know you're like, why is he going into all this? I want you to realize that we're just like you. Those of us that have made the choice to say yes to this opportunity, we've all had our other careers, our other lives that we were doing up until this point. And I'm going to get you up to speed as to how I got involved in this, why I'm talking to you this evening, and what the opportunity really is for you. That's the most important part, is what the opportunity is for you that you can capitalize on. So as we're going along here, let me go ahead and now it's not going to let me go to the next slide. Hold on a second, guys. There we go. So what you'll see here, that's my family, my wife and I, and my son Lance. We're in the middle picture at the top. That was the same day that we hit Elite Pro 7 and LifeVantage. You'll see my passions have been cycling and surfing pretty much my whole life. If it was up to me, I would spend all the time in the world with those guys right there, the family that you see, doing those two activities, and others, but those are my two favorite passions in life. What I realized was that in the industries I was in before, I had some time to do those things, but couldn't do it when I wanted, with who I wanted, whenever I wanted. And so we'll get into a little bit of that in more detail, but my son's an avid soccer player, loves to ski, loves swimming. And we've been in this Indialantic on the east coast of Melbourne for a while. You'll see in the upper right-hand corner there, that was a trip that we took to San Francisco. That was an elite trip that the company actually put on for us. We were flown there and kind of wined and dined for, I guess, 3 days, 2 nights, or 4 days, 3 nights. I don't know. It was a blur. It was an amazing time. I had an absolute ball. So, guys, I'm sharing all this with you. Those are my passions. But how did I end up here with you guys in the front of the room, so to speak, or in front of the computer tonight? And that was simple. It was when my cycling coach reached out to me about a product, and that product right there is called Protandim. He shared Protandim with me about a little over 5 years ago as a way to help improve my recovery on the bike. Now, let me remind you that I'm a avid cyclist. I've been racing for, at that point, I'd been racing for about 15 years. I had 4 state championships under my belt. And Simon, my cycling coach, had played a large role in a lot of those victories. So when he said, I've got something to share with you, I was listening. The only problem was he shared a video with me, and quite frankly, I didn't watch it. Maybe you've seen this ABC investigative news report. I should have watched it, but I didn't. And so initially, I didn't watch the video. He called me up 2 weeks later, said, look, I'm sharing this with my elite athletes. Now, this guy coaches world champions, so he said he puts me in the same sentence as them. I'm listening. And he said, I'm going to send you over a clinical study. Now, what you may or may not know about me is my background is I was a physical therapist for 6 years and a pharmaceutical rep for 13. So for almost 20 years, I was working in the medical profession in a standard job, a corporate job, just like you may be in. Maybe you own your own business. I don't know. But for me, he tells me these things, and my ears perked up. I said, a clinical study. So I read the clinical study. In there, it talked about slowing the aging process by 40% in 30 days. And I said to my wife, I said, we're going to be on this product for the rest of our lives. I've already lost my mom to cancer, my dad to cancer. We've lost my wife's mom at this point to an Alzheimer's-like condition. The only last remaining grandparent is her dad. And I'm saying, this is it. We're going to take this product for the rest of our lives. But I was very curious. I was having some tremendous results. Within 2 weeks on Protandim, again, it's the blue bottle there in the picture, I was sleeping better. Within 4 weeks, I'm waking up with more energy and refreshed. And within 6 weeks, I was breaking power records on my bike. So not only was there the clinical science behind it, the real world facts that the doctors had already done, but in my own experience, I was starting to have my own story formulating as well. And I found myself just wanting to share that with more and more and more people, because quite honestly, we didn't have all those other products that you see in the picture. We had a skin cream I was not really that interested in at the time. but I was curious. I did have a lot more questions. And so that led me to learning more about what we have. Now, what do we have here from a product standpoint? What we have is unique, meaning it's patented. There are exclusive patents, multiple patents on Protandim, patents on our skincare system that you see there in the middle, upper right middle, patented ingredients in the physique, which is our weight management system. So that to me is huge. That should be huge to you as a business person. Put your business cap on. When things have multiple patents, when it's unique, you cannot buy it in stores. The only place you can get it is through an authorized distributor, and those patents are renewable, 20-year renewable patents. That's a big deal. Category creating, I'm going to jump over to that one. That's a big deal because when there's nothing else like it, whenever you hear something from a friend of yours, a lot of times you're like, yeah, I've heard of that before. I've heard of something like that. But with what we have at Protandim, we are the nutrigenomics leader. We're the pioneers. We're creating the category. Nobody else has entries into this category like we do. So that's a huge advantage. And it was something that when I put my thinking cap on, I'm like, okay, this could have potential, like a small biotech company almost taking off. And then Consumables sets up a recurring revenue stream. When somebody needs your product and they need it every single week, or I'm sorry, every single month, month after month after month, that sets up that recurring revenue stream. So whether you want to be a customer or a customer who gets paid, listen in and find out more about what we're doing right now. So I'm glad that you're here tonight. What we'll talk about is how these products are the complete approach to anti-aging, wellness, and performance. We'll talk about how they ended up in this channel, why they're where they are now. And again, these products are backed by science. We're talking peer-reviewed studies that are available on the National Institute of Health, where doctors go to do their research. So for me, that was enough. I mean, heck, any one of those things would have been enough to jump on the products and be on them for life. Like I said, that first study, whenever I found that there were more studies, all the other details we're going to go over, I said, okay, I got to get involved in this thing. There's a whole lot more to it than what people are telling me. Now, what we have now is instead of just an ABC video, which I'm not going to show tonight, ABC did an investigative news report. I'll share the link with you as soon as this is over. But I'm going to share an updated product video that really talks about nutrigenomics, what it is and why we're a category leader. And then we'll double back here in just a second. So here we go.
Our bodies are amazing machines, a machine that is constantly working to combat the environmental and biological stresses attacking it. We breathe in pollution. Our body works to filter it out. We get hot or cold. Our body works to regulate itself. We get sunburned, sick, or injured, and our body works to repair itself. But like any machine, just doing what it's designed to do eventually leads to wear and tear. And therefore, the longer it works, the less effective it becomes. It gradually begins to break down. And in the case of our bodies, we age. But what if that weren't the case? What if you could flip the tables so that as your body does what it's designed to do, it actually became more capable of dealing with environmental and biological stress? Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Well, you don't have to imagine it, because that world is here. Introducing LifeVantage, a publicly traded company at the forefront of nutrigenomics. Using nutrition and naturally occurring compounds to improve your gene expression for a healthier and potentially longer life. Our first breakthrough in nutrigenomics came with the discovery of the NRF2 protein, also known as the master regulator of the body's stress response. Aging and many of its unwanted problems are linked to the breakdown of our body's cells caused by oxidative stress, damage from an overload of free radicals. Our patented Protandim NRF2 synergizer stimulates the NRF2 protein, resulting in the body producing its own powerful, protective antioxidant enzymes, and is the only supplement proven in a clinical study to reduce oxidative stress in humans by an average of 40% in 30 days, therefore reducing lipid peroxidation to the level of a much younger individual. A recent peer-reviewed study from Washington State University calls NRF2 activation one of the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventive breakthroughs in the history of medicine. In a $3.4 billion antioxidant supplement industry, Protandim stands out as the key to making antioxidants rather than taking them. But there's another problem linked to aging that you need to fix: the breakdown of your mitochondria. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of your cells. They make adenosine triphosphate, the fuel that pumps your heart, supports muscle growth, and encourages healthy brain function. And because mitochondria are the source of 95% of your body's energy, as your mitochondria decay, so does your energy level. Protandim NRF1 Synergizer is a new breakthrough that supports mitochondria production and reverses the impact of cellular aging. When you combine both Protandim products, you reduce oxidative stress and help your body support mitochondria production so that you can have healthy, energetic, and youthful cells. Being the industry leader in NRF2 and NRF1 technology isn't the only reason we are at the forefront of nutrigenomics. Our next breakthrough was when we leveraged our unique knowledge of the NRF2 protein and developed an industry-first NRF2 enhanced skincare system, True Science. A multi-step regimen that takes years off your appearance with both instant and long-term anti-aging benefits. Our patented composition utilizes Nerf2 technology and natural ingredients to bring back the youthful glow of beauty to your skin. And it is so effective, you won't believe the results until you try it for yourself. A further breakthrough in nutrigenomic research led to the formulation of Physique, a comprehensive approach designed to recharge and balance your body's natural weight management system. The Physique system supports optimal digestion and immune function and is a safe, long-term solution to burn stubborn fat from your waist. Combined with a balanced diet and exercise program, Physique is the smart way to meet your weight management goals. An additional breakthrough in nutrigenomics was when LifeVantage discovered a way to unlock your brain's potential with Axio Smart Energy. Axio is a brain performance product with ingredients specifically chosen to provide long-lasting power, enhance concentration and focus, without the crash from sugary beverages and snacks or the stressful jitters often experienced with energy drinks or supplements. Axio Smart Energy comes in regular or decaf. The power of our continuing nutrigenomics research led us to new discoveries in NRF2 activation in canines. And so we developed Canine Health, specially formulated to reduce oxidative stress through NRF2 activation. Canine Health supports joint function, mobility, and flexibility in man's best friend. Our insatiable appetite to understand the power of nutrigenomics has led to breakthrough products that have been highlighted on national television networks like ABC, NBC, and PBS. They have also been reported in the Wall Street Journal and in peer-reviewed studies published in major medical journals. Our products stand out as leaders of innovation in the $37 billion supplement market, the $50 billion energy drink market, the $121 billion skincare market, and the $300 billion anti-aging industry, exclusively available through our independent distributor network. Ask the person who invited you to view this information how to purchase any of these products, or how you too can build your own LifeVantage business and put nutrigenomics to work for you. LifeVantage, at the forefront of nutrigenomics.
I don't know about you guys, but I get fired up still every time I see that video. The reason is that, again, when you're a pioneer and people have nothing else like that we have. I mean, when you see that and you realize the power of what we have our hands on, it's tremendous. I never get tired of watching that video. There are things that I hear every time, like the numbers at the end there, how big the actual respective markets are. That to me, when I put on my entrepreneur cap, I'm like, wow, those are massive markets that these products are in. And they're really not even competing in those markets because there is no competition for what we have. It's that unique. So Protandim, what is it? Again, NRF2 activator, it reduces oxidative stress 40% in 30 days. Think of oxidative stress as cellular aging. Think of it this way. If a building catches on fire, a large building, You can try to put it out 1 cup of water at a time. That's what you're doing with an antioxidant. Or you can put on the sprinkler system in the building, which puts the fire out all at once. That's what Protandim does by activating your body's own internal sprinkler system, that internal antioxidant system of enzymes that your body does naturally. And you see that graph in the upper right-hand corner. Do you want 1 to 1 or 1 to a million? And I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather be on the 1 to a million team and slow the cellular aging by 40% in 30 days. Now, like I said, it was the very first clinical study that got me interested in LifeVantage, but there are now 20 peer-reviewed, science-based studies. I mean, these are listed on PubMed.gov. It's where doctors go to do their research. Number 20 just came out in the last week. Number 19 about 3 weeks ago. So these studies are coming out one right after another. One of them would be enough to differentiate us from everything else that's on the market. To have 20 of them in our back pocket, that's insane. It's more powerful than any other supplement, nutraceutical, whatever you want to call it, that I've ever seen on the market. Again, see what ABC had to say for the product. John Quinones came out to do an investigative news report. I'd love to tell you the ending, but you got to check it out. It's only 7, 8, 9 minutes long, I think, and you'll see exactly what his investigative report found on Protandim and on LifeVantage. Now, Protandim Nerf 1, that's our new product. That's the silver label product on the side. That's the one that she said helps boost mitochondrial production. So with the two of them, you have that perfect 1-2 punch. Again, been highlighted on multiple different avenues, everywhere from PBS, Wall Street Journal, everything you see there. Look at the American Heart Association, featured in the journal Circulation. These are real big, real name publications. This was study number 19. This one really made an impact on me. Just came out last month or 2 months ago now in June. First 2 words there, guys, longer lifespan. That's all I needed to see. Longer lifespan. Who wouldn't want to have a longer lifespan? Think of it this way. My dad lived to 62 years of age. In this clinical study, they found that mice lived 7% longer. Male mice lived 7% longer on Protandim. It's the only natural the only natural product ever shown to extend life in clinical studies. This is the NIA, the National Institutes on Aging. It was a 5-year federally funded study, and they found an extra 7%. What's 7% of 60 years? Guys, that's an extra 4.5 years almost of life. Who wouldn't have wanted to get that with their parent, their grandparent, their loved one? Quality, healthy living. So when I saw this study, I knew I'd made the right choice 5 years ago to get on this product and stay on this product for life. We just press released this a couple days ago on our NASDAQ website. Now, these are the studies, they highlighted this in there, talking about how NRF2 activation is the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. That's huge. And we have the most potent NRF2 activator on the market, Protandim. That was proven in another poster presentation that was done by a pharmaceutical company, quite ironically. So they've taken that same formulation, put it into Canine Health. Canine Health's like dog Protandim. It's the same thing, but with collagen and omega-3. Extending a canine's life and quality of life. Now, a lot of people say that's great, but I need to feel something. So don't take Protandim necessarily for what you're going to feel. You're taking it for what it's going to do for you. Just like food. You put your food in a refrigerator, right? Does it make the food taste better? No. Why do you do it then? It makes the food last longer. That's what Protandim does. It makes your cells last longer, so take it for the same reasons. Now, if you need to see results, and that's why I left this up on the screen for a while here, True Science. I mean, guys, long-term on your skin, use the True Science, the entire skincare line. And then for that short-term, for that quick 3-minute, we live in a world of instant gratification. Those pictures at the bottom of the screen, that's 3 minutes later, using the microlift serum. Look at the bags under her eyes, just gone within 3 minutes. When we say we have something that's unique, guys, we mean it. So if you need to see the results, use True Science. Another way of seeing results is through our weight management platform. Let's face it, it's the number one thing that people spend billions of dollars on. It's a number one New Year's resolution year after year to lose weight and be at their healthiest weight, to be fit again. Again, a picture speaks 1,000 words. So you can see here before and after pictures. Guys, these are untouched pictures roughly 6 weeks. I think it's 45 days to be exact. We'll call it 6 weeks. But in 6 weeks, look at the differences there. That midsection fat just gone. People looking better, feeling more confident. Let's face it, the world is excited about something like this, and we have it. So that's how you can live longer with Protandim and healthier, look better, right? You see a change with True Science and Physique. For those that need to feel something, we have Axio. Axio is your natural guilt-free physical and mental energy. Think of it as brain food. It keeps you focused with clarity and concentration, balanced mood, without all the extra calories or sugar or chemicals that are in all those other things. And let's face it, you can replace a lot of things that you're using right now to extend energy or to keep you awake or then to put you to sleep later on. You can restore some of these normal patterns with a product like Axio, and we have that product available now. So as I went through all these things and putting this slide deck together, I came up with this one. I thought, who do you know that would be interested in at least one of these products? Guys, I find people every day who are interested in multiple of these products. They might want the Protandim in the weight management platform, Physique, or maybe Protandim in our energy, Axio, or maybe they have a dog and they want to take Protandim and they want to get their dog on Protandim or Canine Health. Or maybe they're concerned more about their skin and they're just on the skincare system alone, not even on anything else but that and Protandim. So as you start thinking about those things and you think about the size of those markets, they add up. What you see there adds up to essentially a $500 billion or a $500 billion market when you add all those markets together. And we have products that are unique, that are standalone, that are category creating, that are going to dominate those markets, and the world hasn't found out yet. When I thought of that, I realized there's more to this story than what I understood. So it was those incredible results that got me fired up about learning more about the products. But what Simon didn't know when he rolled this out to me was I was working harder at 39 years old than I was at 29. Yeah, believe it or not, working harder, putting in more hours, seeing more doctors, covering a larger territory for less pay in a sick care industry that, guys, every day you hear about it over and over again, how the healthcare system is broken. That's why I call it a sick care industry. And I had to sit by a phone every day, sit by this thing, and see if I still had a job or not. It was no way to live. And I watched my friends, like 70% of them, lose their jobs in a 4-year period. And I knew there had to be a better way. A way to get that freedom, to not have to work all the time. I mean, my mom worked retail. That meant from November, December, and part of January, I'd lose her every year because the department store would own her. And she was a single parent, so I'm a latchkey kid raising myself. I didn't want that to happen to my son, to have both parents working their whole lives and miss out. I wanted to be that dad. I wanted to have freedom to do what I want when I want. And I don't know about you. You may or may not be in the same boat. But are you working harder now than you were 5 years ago? Do you need a change? Because if you do, what I realized was nothing was going to change unless I made that change myself. So I made that change by saying yes to LifeVantage. What were some of the reasons? One, it's publicly traded on NASDAQ. That's huge, guys. Traded alongside Google, Apple, other brands like that. The company's been around since 2003. The product's been around for 10 years now. We're not talking a brand new fly-by-night startup company. We're talking an established company that's already gone from zero to $200 million in 4 years, yet still nobody knows who we are. We're a baby on the radar of the multi-billion-dollar companies. The cool thing is we have all that growth yet to occur. Experience management leading the team, Real Salt Lake sponsorship. That's huge, guys. Soccer is like the #1 sport in the world. And we have a major league soccer team that we've partnered with for 10 years. They have their own research and development facility that we're partnering with them on. It's huge. We're attracting top industry earners. And some of the reasons are, #1, we were just rated AAA by Business from Home magazine. That's huge. We just joined the Russell 3000 index. We were rated by Forbes as one of the top companies in the United States. We'll take a look at that later. Guys, the news just keeps coming one after another after another. The company is rock solid. The trends, let's look at those. Those are definitely in our favor. I mean, who's going to be able to stop working at the rate the world's going? And it's really a very small percentage of people. 3/4 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. The average 65-year-old has 42 grand saved. Think about it this way. Let's say you want to try to live on $5,000 a month in retirement. It's not going to be a glamorous retirement, but you can pay your bills, right? You can have a place to live, food on your table, maybe travel a little bit, take long weekend trips or something like that. Well, that means you're going to have to stop doing what you're doing. You're going to need to have about $1 million invested at 6%. That's $60,000 a year divided by 12 is $5,000, right? Because you can't start dipping into the principal. You start digging into the principal, and all of a sudden, you outlive your money. So let me ask you this. Doing what you're currently doing, how long is it going to take you to save $1 million? And when I was asked that question, I thought, that might take me my whole career. And that's why people work until they're 65, 75, or they're still working and they get part-time jobs. But add in the fact that people are willing to spend money for value, to look better, feel better, and perform their best. The health and wellness industry is growing like wildfire because people realize I don't have a whole lot of money left over, and maybe I don't have any money left over at the end of the month, but I want to stay alive and be healthy and look better and feel better. So you've got this weird thing where they need more money. There's more month left at the end of the money, but they are willing to spend it on things that they see value. You also have millennials wanting to work for themselves. You have women who dominate in an industry like this because 82% of women who make over $100,000 a year do it in direct marketing, direct sales, network marketing, whatever you want to call it. These stats are brutally accurate, guys. It's actually over 100 million now. It's about 102 million people globally. That's the 2015 statistics. They just came out. I have not updated the slide. But guys, it's not like nobody's doing network marketing. There's 100 million people in the world that are working in this profession, that this is how they make a living. And $185 billion a year is moved through this industry. It's a massive industry that pays out $200 million a day in commissions. What does all that mean to you? It means there's a lot of people who are willing to join a work from home or a side business, that a lot of money is sold through this channel. There's a lot of product and service going through this channel, and people are making huge commissions doing so. How can you grab a hold of this? Well, following a system. So for me, it all sounded great, but I've never done network marketing. In fact, I said no to it 28 times because it just was never the right fit. But I was willing to listen. I asked a lot of questions, and I learned a simple system. It's a step-by-step blueprint proven to help you hit the top ranks of the company. In fact, most of the top earners, and I'll show you the incomes in a second, real world incomes, not like projected or what we suspect. These are real world incomes, and I'll show you what those are in a second. You'll be blown away. Most of the people at the top of this company, we've never done network marketing before. This is our first rodeo, but we followed the simple system. We plugged into the training calls, the monthly regional trainings, the on-the-job training, and the mentoring. Guys, how are you going to be the best at something unless you plug into a system and learn how to do it? And we make it simple for you. Not easy, simple. You just got to plug into that system. We have technology on our side now with 4 separate apps that we can use. 4 different apps. You see them listed there at the bottom of the picture of the cell phone in the middle, LV Move, Share, Pro, and Brander. With those 4 apps, you can run a multi-million-dollar business anywhere you have a cell signal. In fact, I'm going to be over in St. Pete this weekend over on the beach, and a friend of mine said, hey, would you be willing to do a 3-way phone call for me? I said, yeah, if I have cell service, I'll do it because I can do this business from anywhere, whenever I want, and still be able to enjoy that time with family. What's the phone call going to take, 10 minutes? What if that leads to somebody that helps build the network, and the network grows by $100,000 a year just from bringing on board one new person? That's how this simplifies it with this technology. So let's talk about what makes it, why is it worth it? And so when you join as a LifeVantage distributor, you become a distributor. Now I'm assuming you're going to be a distributor. I assume at this point you see the value in our products. You're going to take the products for sure, but you're curious, okay, let's say I do join as a distributor. What's in it for me? Well, what's in it for you is you're going to get paid back your money immediately as others join you in this business. Whether they join as a customer or a distributor, you're going to get paid either way based on the products that they buy. So simple. Whenever you join as a distributor, if you have 3 people who join the same way you do, when they join that same way you do, you'll get paid back essentially all the money that you've already put in. you earn 50% on new distributor product enrollment. So if they buy $500 worth of product, you're going to make $250 paid out a week later. What about preferred customers? Well, when customers buy a product, let's say they bought $100 worth of product, you're going to make $30 paid out a week later. So again, like I said, distributor or customer, they're both buying product up front. The distributor, a little bit more product, so you're going to get paid out more. Don't worry about those other bonus pools. It's added money. It's awesome. We get paid 7 different ways technically, but 6 different ways for the most part. But this is where it gets exciting. It's residual income. It's what I didn't understand. It's Harry Potter money, or it's pro athlete money, or professional singer money, where you write the song once, or you play the sport for 5 years. You're like Michael Jordan. You play for what, 15 years. He's one of the best basketball players ever. People are still buying Air Jordans, and every time they do, he gets paid. It's no different in this business. As people join you in the business, they select which products they want to get on a monthly basis. As those products go out on a monthly basis and your network grows, so does your check. Because remember, you don't have to tell them every single month. You don't have to reintroduce LifeVantage to them or all of our wonderful products. They're going to buy them based on the value they see in the products. And every time they buy those products, you get paid a small commission check. As your network grows, so does your income. So think about it this way. If something happened to you, what if you took a day off of work? How about a week? How about a month? How about 2 months? Would you still have a job? Would your income go down? Would you be devastated financially? And the answer from most people is they would be financially devastated. But in network marketing, as you build that residual income stream, in fact, Simon Kessler, my cycling coach, took 2.5 weeks off in the month of July to go over to France, and because his wife had a baby. And in that short period of time, most people's income would have gone down, and his actually went up because his volume, his team rallied, and everybody continued to buy product. The team continued to grow, and all that work he put in 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago is continuing to pay him on a residual basis. I hope that part makes sense. Think about that. We can go into more detail how it works, but it's a very simple system. We also get paid for helping each other. That's the matching bonus. And then the global bonus pool, they call it the elite pool in this picture. That's where we can share in 1, 2, 3, or 4% of global revenue. How would you like to share in 4% of $200 million a year in sales? It's huge, guys, and it's real. I know because I'm in a quarter of that pool by being a Pro 7, by being an elite Pro 7 in the business. So I love that quote. What if something happened to you? 100% of your effort, something happens to you, you're done. But if you have 100 people, each contributing 1%, if something happens to 1 or 2 of them, you're still down to 99 or 98% efficiency. That's awesome. That's the power of this business. You don't have to do it by yourself or alone. We do it together as a team. So what does that translate to in income? Well, take a look down the monthly averages. Their ranks are on the right-hand side. It's simple, guys. We don't use all these fancy terms. We use the numbers 1 through 10. 10 means you're at the top. That's the highest rank the company has. 1 means you're on your way, and you only got 9 more levels to go, right? And so if you look about it, an average Pro 1 makes about almost $100 a month. Most people think, that's not that much. Guys, that's a free cell phone, right? These things are about $100 a month. How about a Pro 3? That's $500 a month. It was at that level that I bought my wife a new car because essentially the car was free from that little thing that I was doing on the side. I didn't tell you guys, I signed up in this to make an extra couple $100 a month. That's all I thought I was going to make. When we were making $500 a month, that bought us a new car. My wife had been driving the same one for 13 years. When we hit Pro 4 and 5, now some of our household bills are getting paid. The car is being paid. We're starting to pay part of our mortgage with that and or our utilities. And by the time we hit Pro 6, pretty much all our bills were covered. And I said, okay, why would I keep doing what I was doing before when I hated it, always fearing that I'm going to get fired? Why would I do that when at Pro 6 and 7, essentially at Pro 7, I've replaced my income? So look at that graph. Look to see where you need to go. Take a look and see at those upper incomes. Guys, I know Pro 10 is real. I've hung out with a very good friend of mine named Brandon Cunningham. He's the guy that got my cycling coach started, and my cycling coach got me started. So it's not like I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who's somewhere, in Timbuktu. This is a guy that we've hung out together, real world, and I've watched him make that transition from Pro 6 to 7, 8, 9, and 10 while I went from brand new to Pro 7. So if we can do it, so can you. We've never done it. We didn't have experience. Neither did Simon's. All three of us have hit the elite ranks or higher, and we've never done this before. So that brings me to my final point, and that's around the timing. Guys, the time is now. It really is. When you look at it, when you think about an opportunity, who usually benefits the most? The people that come in on the tail end or the people that get in before it takes off? Think of like Apple or Google or Microsoft. Imagine if you could have given them money 30 or 40 years ago with Apple and Microsoft or Google, like 15, 20 years ago. Imagine if you could have gotten involved then, knowing what you know now, knowing that it's going to skyrocket. Well, we know that LifeVantage is going to dominate these markets. We know we'll be a multi-billion-dollar company in 100 countries with millions of distributors. The crazy thing is we only have 70,000 distributors right now. We're only in 10 countries, but we have new programs and incentives that are speeding it all up. We're expanding globally very quickly right now. Those number of distributors are quickly going to surpass the first 125,000, which experts say make up about 80% of the commissions over the lifetime of a company. Where do you want to be when we have 500,000, a million, 2 million distributors? Whose group do you want those people to be in? Yours or somebody else's? That was going through my head. I had this fear of missing out. That's what helped me jump in now, because I knew if I built this now, we'd be able to live on the residual income for generations, not just me, but my son and his kids if they want to. So how do you launch your business? It's simple, guys. Get involved on one of our distributor kits. They've changed a little bit. Still $1,200, $600, and $300, still a Platinum, Vantage, and Freedom Pack. The products that you see in the pictures have changed around just a little bit, but that's a representation of what you're going to receive. You're going to receive anywhere from $250 to $1,000 worth of product. My recommendation would be go for the largest pack that you can, because you want to build your business fast, because you want to build a large business. You want that duplicating. And as it duplicates in your business grows faster, you rank advanced faster, and you hit those higher income levels much more quickly as well. Plus, you're using all our products that way, so you have more product to share with people when they ask you about it. Get back with the person who invited you here tonight. They can go over and help you find out which one is best for you in your particular situation. I said I'd come back to this, guys. June 25th, so 6 weeks ago, we were rated by Forbes magazine. They rated the top performing companies in every state ranked by their percent return. So looking at publicly traded companies, there were thousands of companies that they looked at. And in the entire United States, LifeVantage was number 1 in Utah and top 5 in the entire United States out of all companies by Forbes. It's huge. When you add that in with that NIA study, the National Institute of Aging, saying that we slow or increase longevity 7%, publicly traded company that's on fire, and they increase longevity by 7%. Guys, it's only a matter of time before everybody knows about this. Nothing's more expensive than a missed opportunity. Don't miss your opportunity. At least take a closer look. Follow up with the person who invited you on this webinar this evening. If you have questions, I'll be available to help answer those questions. Let's help you get started, because imagine this. Wouldn't that have been an expensive missed opportunity had my wife and I not said yes 5 years ago and missed those elite ranks of LifeVantage? The ball's in your court. We're inviting you to join us here at LifeVantage. Get back with whoever invited you here. That concludes the webinar this evening, and thank you very much for joining us. Good night, everybody.